My daughter, Amanda, and her husband, Javier, lived nearby in Guadalajara for a few years after they were married. They often helped out with various ministries of our missionary work here, but they also found other, often unexpected, opportunities to serve. In their daily comings and goings around the city, they would often drive down one particular avenue near their home. One day, while stopped at a red light, they noticed two young boys climbing a tree in the medial strip. The next day, they saw the same boys there again. Every time they went past, the boys were there, asking for a handout, washing windshields for a tip, climbing the trees, or otherwise just hanging around. The boys appeared to be homeless. Amanda and Yavi would always greet them, give them some food every chance they could. One day, instead of just stopping at the red light, they decided to actually pull over and park and hang out with the boys. They asked them where they lived, and the boys pointed up into the branches of the tree. They were brothers, living and surviving on their own, and literally living in a tree. My daughter nicknamed them Los Hermanos Ardilla, or the Squirrel Brothers, because they lived in a tree. Amanda and Javi's hearts ached for these kids, begging and scrounging to survive, getting rained on, and living in a dangerous and vulnerable situation. As they spent more time with the boys, my daughter and her husband learned that they had been abandoned and had no one and nowhere to go. No family, no home, no school. They only had each other. After talking and praying about it, they agreed to offer to take the boys in until they could find them a more permanent place to live. The boys accepted the offer and gathered their few, meager belongings. I could not have been prouder of my daughter and son-in-law for opening their home to these homeless kids. They fixed up a room and got them settled in, a roof over their heads, home-cooked meals, and real beds to sleep in. The boys were safe and lived with my daughter and her husband for several weeks. Amanda and Javi reached out to some friends they knew who ran a Christian boys' home in the city and inquired about the possibility of them accepting the two brothers. Then they asked the boys if they would like to have a real home with other kids, lots of good food, new clothes, new friends, and even a new school. The kids said they would love something like that. Arrangements were made within a few days, and they took them to their new home. The Squirrel Brothers adapted quickly to their new surroundings and hit it off with the other boys and the staff at the home. Amanda and Javi went to visit them often and sponsored them as their special kids, rescued from the branches of a tree and delivered into the arms of a loving new family. There the kids also experienced and understood for the first time the love of a merciful God and His grace to save them, not only in this life, but for all eternity. I don't know how long the boys stayed at that home or where they went from there, but I praise God for the love and initiative that my daughter and son-in-law had to reach out to the Squirrel Brothers and love them like they did. Thank you so much for listening to this true story from Memoirs of Mexico. If you enjoyed this story, or if it was a blessing to you, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. That would be a blessing to me. I upload a new true story every day. If you like to read, you can also order Memoirs of Mexico in paperback or ebook on Amazon.com. There's a link in the description. Thanks again for listening.